everyone and welcome back to KatieActually. Today's video is a makeup tutorial based off of one of my favorite female public figures, and that is Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, also known as Kate Middleton. Kate's due date for her second child is coming up at the end of this month, so I've kind of got Kate on the brain and I thought I would sit down and do a tutorial on how to get one of her everyday makeup looks. So if that interests you, please watch on. So I wanted this to sort of be more of a chatty tutorial, so I'm going to chat along while I do it so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm just going to get started because sometimes these can go for a little bit longer than normal tutorials. So I'm starting off with primer. I'm using Benefit Porefessional primer on my face. I don't know if you know this about me, but I actually have an oil slick for a face, so this is a step that I absolutely can never ever skip. And then I'm taking my eye primer and I'm just gonna rub that onto my eyelids so it will keep my eye makeup in place. So I'm going to start off with my eyeshadow, not because this is a very smoky look with a lot of fallout, just because that's the way that I'm used to doing things. So I am going to be using my Naked on the Run palette for a lot of the steps in this process. Of course, you can use something that you already have. You don't have to run out and get this, but I just found this has a lot of elements that work really well with this look. Kate's eyeshadow I have found to be very simple, and that is good for both you and me. So I'm going to start off with, what color is this? Resist, which is this color right here, this middle one, just all over the lid, and then I'm going to put a little bit of that matte fix through the crease, this one right here, and then I'm going to move on to my Naked 2 palette, Urban Decay, and I'm going to use Booty Call, this highlighting shimmery shade right here, and just put that in the inner corner of my eye. So I'm going to do that. I read somewhere that Kate uses a lot of Bobbi Brown products, and I think some of her favorite eyeshadows from them are Ivory and Slate and Rockstar, which are, Ivory is obviously like a very ivory color, and then Rockstar and Slate are kind of both gray colors. So I think, you know, this Resist color that I'm using, gosh, I have to keep looking at the back. Yeah, Resist is, it's not really gray, but it's more of like a brown, but I think it works really well with this look. It's not very harsh, and that's kind of what Kate is all about. She is very, you know, natural looking in most of the elements of her makeup. Moving on to the highlight on the inner corner, just taking Booty Call and putting that right in the inner corner. Not a very princess-like name for an eyeshadow, but you know what? That's okay. So the next step is eyeliner, and I think Kate's eyeliner is one of her most distinctive makeup features. She does the same thing in almost every photo I've seen of her, which is to run a liner along the upper lash line, maybe put some in the upper waterline, and then run some on the lower lash line from corner all the way into corner. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Stag. Again, this came from my Naked on the Run palette, but you don't have to use that one. I liked this one because it's dark, but it's not all the way black, so I think that gives a really great definition without being too defining, if that makes any sense. So here we go. Alright, so moving on to mascara, I'm going to be trying to make my lashes bigger and fuller without looking like I have a ton of mascara on, because Kate goes for that very natural look, and that's what we're trying to replicate here. So I am using my CK1 mascara. I actually got this as a birthday gift from Ulta last year, and at first I was kind of like, meh, okay, cool, great. But this has very quickly become my BFF. This is a great mascara, and it has a really interesting wand that you can twist to make, see if you can see what it does. It gets shorter for more volume or length or something, and then longer for the other one. So cool. So anyway, yeah, so that's the mascara I'm using. Just liberally coat your top lashes and then put a light layer on your bottom. I always make the weirdest faces when I put on my mascara. So for foundation, I'm going with something that is quite sheer. You could also use a tinted BB cream or a tinted moisturizer. I am going for Nars Sheer Glow because I feel like that gives a good amount of coverage without looking too heavy, and that's something you really want when you're going for a look like Kate Middleton's. So I'm just going to take my foundation, kind of dot it around my face. And I am using a damp beauty blender to work this into my skin because I feel like that really helps with the natural look of the foundation itself. Now to conceal any things on your face you want to be concealed, such as dark circles under your eyes like I have, or any blemishes, I'm just going to take my concealer. I'm using the MAC Studio Fix concealer, and I am just covering up any spots that I don't really want people to see. And again, I'm using my damp beauty blender to work that in. I've had this sucker for like a week. It's time for him to go. I have a really bad problem with getting my mascara like all over my face when I do my eye makeup. So I like to do my eyes before my face just so I can go back in and fix the mascara smears without having to reapply foundation or concealer. Am I the only person out there that has that happen to them? It happens like every day. Now while that sort of sets and sinks into the skin well, I'm going to do my brows. I am using my Anatasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo and an angled brush. I think this is Sonia Kashik. Kate has very natural looking brows. She doesn't have too much of an arch. It's pretty much the brows her mama gave her and filling in any gaps. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. My brows and I are not the best of friends. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to make them behave a little bit more. So like I said, face is oil slick, so I am just setting everything in place before I move on with my Rimmel Stay Matte Translucent Powder on a big fluffy brush to help this last a little bit longer than usual. Now from what I can tell, Kate isn't huge into contouring and bronzing, but I'm going to do just a tiny bit because she has awesome cheekbones and everyone wants those. So I'm just using my Naked on the Run palette. Again, I am going to be using the bronzer and the blush. So I'll get to that in a second, but right now, bronzer, just right in the hollow of my cheek to kind of give my face a little bit more of an angle. I have a very round face, so it's sometimes nice to sort of try to streamline it just a little bit. Okay, now blush. I think blush is the other very distinctive Kate Middleton element of her makeup look. She goes for a very pink blush always, and I think it looks great on her. So what we're going to use is, again, this very pink blush from the Naked on the Run palette, which is I don't know, it doesn't tell me what it is, but it's the blush in the palette. It's this one, right there. And we're just taking a blush brush, this is from Real Techniques, and we're gonna pop that on the apples of the cheeks and then kind of pull it up a little bit towards the hairline. Guess you could say she's got a royal flush. And now for the very last step, and that is lips. Kate tends to keep her lips very neutral and very sheer, very pink and very pretty. So that's what we're going to try to achieve. And I am using the YSL Volupte Sheer Candy. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's in number 12 and it's really beautiful, kind of pale pink. color, and this is a very glossy lipstick, so it's going to give shine but also some color, and here we go. And if you want to make this even more perfect, if you just happen to have one lying around, a great finishing touch is the royal ring. I happen to have one of these, so there you go, I popped it on. Finished look, look complete. So like I said, that is the finished look for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it if you want your friends to see it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and until next week, I will see you guys later. Bye. The name of this tag is the Spring Got Me Sprung tag. Aren't you proud of me? Because I am 8,400 years old and I just used the word sprung. Glossy lipstick. Oh my goodness, it just went everywhere.